Phantasy Star Online was one of the most played games during my generation on the Sega Dreamcast. I used to play the game a lot during my high school years and college years on the Dreamcast and the original Microsoft Xbox. On the Xbox version called Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2, I actually had several characters. One of them, actually half of them were women characters. One of my favorite ones was Ramal, a woman ranger, which I've used a lot on the Xbox version. My version was actually called blue, because I liked the costume, the military costume that she wore. Eventually, I stopped playing the Xbox version and slowly transitioned to PC gaming during my college years. I never got back into the Phantasy Star Online series until I heard news of a successor to Phantasy Star Online called Phantasy Star Online 2. And oh boy, PSO 2 is basically what PSO should have been. A fast action game with fluid movement with the ability to avoid and block attacks, and literally pound enemies with ease, with regular and special attacks, along with photon actions. I've joined the game's open beta around 2012, and I played the game non-stop, basically almost every day, until May 2018. On a personal note, I've never played Phantasy Star Online 2 for the story. I was more of the casual gamer. Basically, I only played the game because of the action, the music, the atmosphere, and the gameplay. And the raid-like emergency quests. And the emergency quests that had the boss types are the best ones. And in recent years, it has gone to a point where players merely go these emergency quests and kill those bosses quickly and efficiently as possible because the player characters have gotten so overpowered over the years. The game has since went on to have 5 episodes, and the 6th one has recently released titled Stars, with at least a dozen new areas over the past 5 6 years, and new bosses, raid events, costumes, basically everything that MMORPG will have. Problem is, Phantasy Star Online 2 isn't an MMORPG. It's more like a instance, massively multiplayer online RPG. It's more like instance multiplayer online RPG. The only reason why Phantasy Star Online 2 is massive is because in the lobby areas you can have up to 100 players in one instance, in one lobby, in each lobby. And with the emergency quests, you have teams of 4 or a whole team of 12 can efficiently waste a boss within 3 to 5 minutes. There was an anime adaptation of Phantasy Star Online 2 called Phantasy Star Online 2 The Animation, but it's more of a tie-in when Phantasy Star Online 2 released episode 4, which took place in Earth. Now the new anime, which is coming in October 7th, called Phantasy Star Online 2 Episode Oracle, will be an adaptation of the Phantasy Star Online story from episodes 1, 2, and 3, and thus restructures the official story told in the game. The stories in the game have been consolidated into Episode Oracle, named after the Oracle fleet featured in the game's myth arc. The series was announced in PSO 2 Station number 29 on March 10th, 2019. Information was revealed at the Phantasy Star Thanksgiving Day 2019 at the Kobe Convention Center on July 14th, 2019. It was revealed that the anime will have 25 episodes. There will be several characters, including the main character featured in the PSO2 trailers. Basically, you know the PSO2 trailers that they had throughout the past 5 years, which they stopped making these trailers. The last major trailer for the game was for another emergency quest. The hunter's name that you saw the black costumed character, his name is Ash, and he'll be voiced by Daisuke Ono. Other major characters of the game will reprise their roles for the TV anime. Now later it was revealed that some anime original content will be created to flesh out the world, character development, or just as filler. We have the synopsis for the first 3 episodes featured in the game by my anime list. Now in episode 1, during the qualification exam in Planet Nebulous, the player and fellow orcs trainee Alphen, that's the same name in the game, are attacked by vile organizations known as Darkers. This is followed by 2 discovering a mysterious girl who lost all her memories, and the truth regarding Nebulous and the recent spike in Darker activities. Episode 2 is where the plot follows the player and Matoi as they unravel a dark conspiracy regarding the origin and purposes of orcs. Now actually, orcs actually stands for Artificial Related to Keep Species, similar to the orcs featured in the game and in the anime. Don't ask me how they named the organization or the ships, but I can tell you that these ships that are featured in the game, the spaceships, those large spaceships with the dome, that's actually an artificial relic. It's basically a city-sized spaceship. Now to continue on, episode 3 is where we discover the planet Harukoten. A new quest brought into the fray, as the peace between Shoran and Kuranites that dwell in the planet is disturbed by the Kuranites' sudden attack. The newly reformed orcs after episode 2 is tasked to investigate the reason behind it all, and it seems like the truth is more complicated and horrifying than expected. I will not go into spoiler territory at this point. Now the characters featured in the game and anime would be Ash, Alphen, Matoi, Zion, Zeno, Echo, Luther, Gamut, and Mephistoshima. Now, for the actual production of the anime, Makasaki Tachibana, who worked on Princess Principal, The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky, Tokyo Mania 2 8.0, will be directing the anime at Gonzo, and Gonzo is actually producing the anime and animating the show. Hiroshi Onogi from Gi no Kyoto, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, is handling the series composition, and he'll be also writing the scripts alongside Shigeru Morita and Buse Asanuna. Shinpei Korikawa, who was a guest character design for Aquarium Logos and sub-character design for High School DxD Hero, is designing the characters, which will be similar to the characters you see in the game if you actually play Phantasy Star Online 2. Eriko Kimura, who worked on Tiger and Bunny, Loot Over the Wall, A Mobile Suit Gun Phone Bolt, will be the sound director. And Felix Film is handling the 3D computer generated imagery. The opening theme song will be Destiny by Amy Blackstranger. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Now I know that Amy is a Tokyo-based singer-songwriter, and she has also performed songs for a number of video games, including Final Fantasy 13-2, Phantasy Star Portable 2, and Living Universe. The anime's ending theme will be Timeless Fortune by Mika Arisaka. It's worth knowing again that Phantasy Star Online 2 had its own anime before years ago, simply called PSO2 The Animation, which was made by Sega and Telecom Animation. It was a tie-in anime in reference to Episode 4 and set on Earth and in the PSO2 universe. That was released in 2016. That anime had 12 episodes and followed a group of high school kids in Sega Academy who became engrossed in the world of PSO2 and was done to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Phantasy Star Online franchise. You can still get the anime and view it through Sentai Filmworks. The major difference between PSO2 the animation and PSO2 episode Oracle is that instead of taking the meta approach of an anime about a video game, Phantasy Star Online 2 episode Oracle will be a direct adaptation and restructuring for the Phantasy Star Online 2 storyline. Phantasy Star Online 2 episode Oracle will premiere in October 7th on Tokyo MX and Broadcast Satellite 11, aka BS11, and we'll have a total of 25 episodes. Again, just repeating myself, Phantasy Star Online 2 episode Oracle will be available with you on Foundation now as a simulcast on the same date and time. And Foundation mentioned that the game itself will be finally coming to North America for the PC and Xbox One in spring 2020. Now, in light of Phantasy Star Online 2 episode Oracle being broadcast, I will be starting to play Phantasy Star Online 2 on Twitch or Mixer depending on my mood. And I already uploaded a bunch of gameplay footage of me playing the game on my Media Dump channel, which is, you can actually find my channel at jkid4, youtube.com/jkid4. And just type in Phantasy Star Online 2, jkid4 on the search bar. That's where you can find all my gameplay footage from Phantasy Star Online 2. And I'll be uploading said footage and streaming said footage on Twitch around October 7th. And I have so many gameplay footage I saved up over the years, especially during the online open beta test way back in 2012. So be sure to look out for it. That's all for this preview. See you in the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you're really interested in the Ministry of Otaku, visit the Discord page and the Twitter page. Thanks for watching.